In Islam, the question of how many years the prayer becomes mandatory for children is important and requires the correct understanding. Islam is a religion that takes into account the natural development of a person, and therefore Sharia establishes reasonable rules that meet the age and capabilities of the child. Namaz is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, and its significance cannot be overestimated. However, the introduction of this obligation for children occurs gradually, taking into account their physical and spiritual development. According to Islamic law, the prayer becomes obligatory fard for the Muslim from the moment of reaching adulthood bulugh. Capitulina in Islam is determined either by age or by physical characteristics. Most scientists believe that for boys and girls this age can be different. Usually for boys, adulthood occurs at about 12 to 15 years old, and for girls with the beginning of menstruation, which can happen earlier, at about 9 to 15 years old. However, this does not mean that before this age, children should not pray. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, ordered his parents to accustom children to pray from 7 years old. One of the hadiths says, "Ordain your children to make a prayer when they are 7 years old, and punish them for its abandonment when they are 10 years old." This hadith indicates that prayer training should begin long before it becomes mandatory. Parents should gently and patiently explain to children the importance of prayer, teach them to be ablued correctly and read surah. It is important to understand that Islam does not put an excessive burden on children. Until adulthood, prayer is not a fard for the child, but his training and gradual introduction into practice is the duty of parents. If a child at 7 to 10 years old is already able to consciously perform prayer, he should be encouraged and helped. If he is lazy or forgets, a mild reminder is permissible, and in some cases, an easy educational effect, but without excessive severity. The main goal is that by the time of the age of majority the child would be accustomed to prayer and fulfill it consciously, and not by coercion. Islam devotes a great education of children, and prayer here plays a key role, forming discipline, communication with Allah and an understanding of religious duties. Therefore, parents should show wisdom, patience and love, helping their children grow up with God-fearing Muslims. Thus, although the prayer becomes mandatory only after adulthood, children need to be accustomed to prayer much earlier. This is a part of Islamic education that helps the child grow a righteous and aware person of his religion. Let Allah help all parents in this noble business and give us the opportunity to educate a generation that loving prayer and the next along the path of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Ameen.